Hello and welcome to another video on the Fossil Hybrid HR. Fossil recently released a new version of their app, version 4.6, and it brings with it some really cool new features. I only got the update this morning, so I'm still learning about all the things they've changed and improved, but I thought I'd share with you some of the big things I've noticed about this update. We'll start off by long pressing the middle button, and you can immediately see that some things have shifted around in this menu. Settings is a completely new addition, and I'll get to that in just a second, but I want to point out that the options for Do Not Disturb and dial info aren't here anymore. Instead, you'll see new options to access commute time and weather. This is pretty useful because the only way you could previously access those options were if you had set them as a shortcut for one of the side buttons. But let's jump back to the start of the list by long pressing the top button and head straight into settings because this is where the main new features are. The first thing we see here is the Do Not Disturb toggle. You can cycle between always off, always on, and mirror phone by pressing the middle button. The Do Not Disturb mode implementation wasn't great in the previous version because it wouldn't work if your phone was on silent or vibrate, so I'm interested to see if it's improved with version 4.6 update. I'll post a separate video all about that, but for the time being I'm going to leave it on always off. Right next to D&D mode is a completely new feature and something that loads of people have been asking about for ages. It's the option to turn off the heart rate sensor at the back. So you can see right now that I've got mine on and the green lights are flashing. If we go back to the menu, I can press the middle button, the watch will vibrate, it will show me a little disclaimer saying that this might impact sleep and calorie tracking, and then if you look at the back of the watch, those green lights are not flashing anymore. So turning the heart rate sensor off should prolong battery life, and I'm really glad that Fossil has given users control over this feature, because many people don't like the lights flashing all the time, especially if they take their watch off at night. Personally, I have no issues with this, so I'm going to turn it back on by pressing the middle button again, and you can see that the lights are now flashing. Next up on the list is the ability to control the front light. So the front light are these four little LEDs hidden in each corner that turn on when you double tap the watch. You don't have to double tap the glass because you'll just get fingerprints on it, so you can just double tap the side of the watch and you can see that the lights turn on. It's not uniform lighting by any means, and I hope they make it look better in the next version of the Hybrid HR, but it's better than nothing. So I can press the middle button to turn this off, and you can see now that if I double tap the watch, it does absolutely nothing. Again, I have no issues with the light, so I'm going to turn it back on, and you can see that double tapping it now makes the light turn on again. I have no idea if turning the front light off will affect battery life, but I assume it'll help the battery last a tiny bit longer on a single charge. Next up on the list is Unread notifications, which is also a new feature, but one that is kind of strange. So every time you get a new notification, the watch will vibrate and it will flash that message on screen, just like it's doing right now. But when it goes back to showing you the home screen, it will now have a tiny little bell icon at the bottom as a sort of visual reminder of the fact that you have unread notifications. Whether it's just one unread notification or 20, that icon is the same. So I just received a text from myself. I'm going to go to the home screen by long pressing the middle button, and I'm going to zoom in here and you can see that I have that tiny little bell icon at the bottom letting me know that I have an unread notification. So if I long press the middle button and go back into settings and turn that option off, it basically means that you will not see that icon anymore. So I've turned it off. I'm going to long press the middle button and long press it again to go to the home screen, and you can see that the bottom of my watch display is now clear even though I have an unread notification. But that's not the only thing Fossil has changed when it comes to notifications. If you've seen my earlier videos on the Hybrid HR, you'll know that I often lamented the fact that long pressing the bottom button did absolutely nothing. I was hoping Fossil would release an update that would let you toggle D&D mode or ring your phone or do something cool. Well, in this update, Fossil has set long pressing the bottom button to open up a menu for unread notifications. It's just like what I showed in my notifications video for the Hybrid HR, except every unread notification now has that little dot in the top right corner, letting you know that it is an unread notification. You can still scroll through the list of notifications like normal, but once you press the middle button to open any notification, the watch will mark it as read by getting rid of the dot, and it will disappear from the list of unread notifications, even if you haven't manually cleared it from the watch or the phone. Once you've read all your unread notifications, it will just say no unread notifications. If you go back to your home screen, you'll see that the unread notifications icon has also disappeared. Now that's all well and good, however, you can still access past notifications if you've set one of the buttons to it as a shortcut. And it does the exact same thing as unread notifications, with the added benefit that you can still access your notifications even after you've read them. So I've set my middle button to open past notifications, and you can see that the text message I just read is still visible here, except it doesn't have that dot in the top right side, so it is a read notification. It only disappears from this list once I manually clear it from the watch or the phone, and fun fact, clearing a notification from the watch still doesn't clear it from the phone, so we still have to deal with that. But anyway, I'm going to go back to the home screen and I'll send myself a text. So I've sent myself a text message. You can see the watch vibrates and it flashes a message on screen, and we get that little icon in the top right letting me know that I haven't yet read this notification. Once it disappears, I am going to press the middle button to open up past notifications, not unread notifications, just past notifications, and you can see that I still have that unread icon at the bottom. So I'm going to open past notifications with the middle button. I have my notification here, it's got that little dot letting me know that it is an unread notification. I'm going to press the middle button to open it and read it, and then you can see I can go back to my list of notifications and it is still there, except now that dot has disappeared, so it is now a read notification. And then I'm going to long press the middle button to go back to my home screen, and you can see that the unread notification icon has now disappeared. So I just did all of that without once opening the unread notifications menu. So I don't know why Fossil even bothered to add that feature, because it doesn't add any new functionality to the watch. In fact, it just complicates things because now we have two different notification menus, one for past notifications and one for unread notifications. I don't really see the benefit of the unread notifications menu right now, but to be fair, I've only had the update for a couple of hours, so it's possible I might just be misunderstanding its function completely. This is just my initial reaction. On the plus side, having that shortcut tied to the bottom button means that I can now set my middle button to access a different feature, like the stopwatch, or the timer, or the weather, so I guess that's kind of useful. Anyway, going back to our settings list, the next option available here is the option for the disconnected icon. If you have this option enabled, and you lose connection with your phone, your watch face will now look like this, with the bottom bar showing you the disconnected icon. Previously, the only way to know if your watch had been disconnected from your phone was to open the menu and see the same icon there next to the battery. I should also point out that if you have unread notifications and you've been disconnected from your phone, both icons will appear at the bottom. And if you have a white background, those icons might be a bit difficult to see. Additionally, if you stick your watch on charger, both icons will disappear and they'll be replaced with the battery indicator. But once you take the charger off, both icons will show up again and you'll see that you have unread notifications and you've been disconnected from your phone. Back to our list, the next option is to control vibration intensity. Interestingly enough, you can only switch between medium, which sounds like this, and strong, which sounds like this. There's no option for weak vibration or to have it completely silent, but I guess Do Not Disturb mode kind of takes care of that last one. I think the vibration intensity applies to all incoming notifications, as well as stuff like watch alarms and move alerts, but I have no idea if setting it to strong negatively affects battery life. The final option in the settings menu is the ability to hide and show your dials. Like I showed in my customization video, you can also achieve the exact same effect, simply by long pressing the top button when you're on your home screen. Aside from the settings menu, the biggest change with the version 4.6 update has to do with customizations. You can now download and share watch faces through the app, you can create your own designs with custom text and stickers and emojis and backgrounds, and you can even customize the dials. This is a random watch face that I created this morning using some of the default stickers and dial designs, but you can see how different it is to the usual format. For starters, I've got a white background and my dials are all over the place instead of the usual 12, 3, 6, 9 o'clock positions. Some dials have black text, some dials have white text, and each dial design is completely different. The one for the calendar, for example, doesn't even have a dial. So with this update, you can really fine-tune the design of your watch face and make it look exactly like you want. The new customization options are a lot of content to go over, and I'm still understanding the new interface myself, but I will post a separate video all about it once I figure everything out. Till then, this has just been a quick overview of some of the new features with the version 4.6 update that I thought you might be interested in. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you and your family are safe and well wherever you are in the world. This has been Zaeem Siddiqui from Zeus Reviews. Over and out.